Welcome to LiveDaf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Hello, Shalom Aleichem. Welcome back to today's Daf Yomi, CHULLIN Kuf Mem Aleph. We are holding 5 lines off the top at the 2 dots. Ein sham efrayach v'chulu. The Gersa is Ein sham ella efrayach echad. So in the Mishnah we learn like this. In order for there to be a mitzvah of shiluch hakein, the eggs must be viable, able to hatch into live chicks, and likewise, if we have chicks, they have to be still dependent upon the mother bird's warmth and care. But if they're already able to fly on their own, they're independent entities, it no longer qualifies shiluch hakein. So if it's unviable eggs, if the chicks are too mature, you're out. On the other hand, if the cane only has a single egg or a single chick, which fits the criteria, then you're in, you're chayiv. And that's learned from cane. Cane means any type of nest, even one which contains a single unit. Asks the Gemara, how do you know to push this one out and bring this one in, to exclude these, to include this one? Perhaps we'll do it in the reverse. So this Chacham turned l'Rava. I have a question. Ema, perhaps, ifcha. We should put it in the reverse. So it's just a single one, it's out. Ein sham ela efrayach echad. Beitza achas. Okay, if it's just a single egg or patam shalech, it should be exempt. The ba'inen efraychim beitzim. Look, the pasuk speaks plural. Efraychim, many. Beitzim, right? At least 2. Veleka, you don't have that if it's just one. On the other hand, perhaps let's bring in the flying chicks or the unviable eggs. Hayisham efraychim africhim, if the chicks were already of the flying type. Beitzim muzaros, or the eggs were spoiled. Perhaps in those, chayiv l'shalech, he's obligated. Shneimar kan. Kan means, mikal makim, in any situation. So how do you know to push this one out, bring this one in? Perhaps flip it around. Answer is, imkain, if that were so. Why does the Torah repeat itself? Imkain yichtav krova im revet saleim. You see, if you look at the pasuk inside, ki yikar katzib l'fanecha b'derech efreichim oy beitzim, it says that once. And then again, va'im revet says, the mother bird is sitting on halafreichim halavitzim. Why repeat that again? Then it says l'sigach seim alabanim. Don't take the mother. Shalach the shalach. Send her away. Right? There's a loisa say and a nasay. Right? So why this repetition? The pasuk would simply say the mothers resting on them, the ones that we already alluded to. Why the repetition? Again, to highlight that it's meant to fit this description in particular, to connect the chicks to the eggs and vice versa. And say, just like the eggs still require the mother bird's love and care, likewise the chicks, as opposed to flying chicks, and the other way too, to connect the eggs to the chicks. Just like the chicks are alive and healthy and viable, likewise the eggs must be of a similar nature. Okay, at the end of the day, in order to qualify, the eggs have to be viable eggs. Chicks have to be dependent on the mother. On the other hand, if it fits this criteria, then even if it's a single chick or egg, you're chayav. Now, what's the extent of the mitzvah? Let's say, take the mother bird, send her away, and it comes right back before you got a chance to take the offspring. Shilcha, sent her away, she came right back. What happens now? Even happened 4 or 5 times. You're chayav to send her away one final time before you take the kids. I'm going to say the Gemara shaleach, instead of it referring to a command like sender. Shaleach is, it should be sent away. The act of sending, perpetual act of sending, no matter how many times it takes to get it right. Shalayach to shalach haseim, and then you take the offspring. Now let's say he has a novel approach to this. So he says, I'm not going to take the mother, send away the mother bird and take the kid. I'm going to take the mother bird and send away the kids. Does that work? No. There's a very specific way of doing this. Amar, he claims, I'm going to take the mother, send away the kids, chayav. That doesn't work. Torah gives us a very specific way of doing it. Send away the mother and then take the offspring. Okay, let's say he did. He successfully sent away the mother bird. And then, natal esabanu, he took the offspring. And he put the offspring back in the nest. Decided, he didn't need it. And then the mother bird comes back. Does he have to send her away again? No. Once it's done, it's done. He's exempt. That's how we do that's how we did it at the house. We did shloch haken and put it back, and then made it hefker, and the mother bird came back, and the next kid did it, right? That's how you can do it over and over again. So the Chacham turned to Rava. How do you know? That it's an endless proposition. Send it away, send it away, send it away until it happens. Ve'ema, perhaps shaleach hadazimna. Shaleach means send her away once, one attempt at sending her away. And teshalach means try once more to raise zimna. But perhaps pass 2 times, you're not obligated. Amalei, he says, no, shaleach. The Rambam says a makar, it's a root word. The concept of sending away, it's a perpetual thing. Shaleach means afilu mea pamim. Even if it takes 100 times. So why does the pasuk repeat shaleach teshalach? Oh, teshalach is coming to add another component to the mitzvah. Even at the expense of a different mitzvah. Suppose he requires a bird. Why? Which mitzvah requires a bird? He's a mitzvah. He needs the bird to process his purification process, right? He needs the tuber. So perhaps he can take this mother bird and ignore the mitzvah of shiloh hakein? No, teshalach tells you, ein li el dvar rishus. Perhaps this mitzvah to send away the mother is only when he desires it for his own personal use. But let's say dvar mitzvah, he needs it for a mitzvah purpose. Minayin, how do we know that even there you send her away at the expense of the other mitzvah? So shiloh hakein overrides. Tamalem teshalach. That's the repetition. Mikol malkim, even in this situation. Now, the obvious question is, why would I have the notion to ignore one mitzvah for the sake of the other? Why would I, negate shloch hakein in order to earn a bird for the mitzvah? Who says mitzvah is more important? Why would I even think so? Especially since, shloch hakein involves a lois asay and an asay. It's a pretty hefty experience. It's a pretty hefty violation. Why would I negate 2 violations to earn a bird for a mitzvah? Amli Rav Abba Breder Rav Yisrael Rav Kahana. I have a question. So is that only because of the extra teshalach that I know to do a shiloh hakein even in this type of circumstance? Halavachi, but without this pasuk. I would think dvar mitzvah, loy. That if the objective is for a mitzvah, I can just ignore shiloh hakein. How could I? It's a double-layered violation, asay, which is shalech teshalach, and also vilois asay, that's loisikachaim, who? It entails a double violation. And at the most, what are you trying to achieve? Mitzvah asay for the mitzvah, right? Go get the bird. One asay cannot override a double isur. Ve'ein asay, the asay of mitzvah will not be stronger, will not be doichet, not override a lois asay and va'asay. So why would I even think so? Litzricha must be speaking to Abba Shakli. He already took claim. He already took the mother bird. It's over. He already violated. And now he has it in his hands. The lav, so the violation, the negative, Avra, he has already committed. It's done. Done and over with. All that's remaining is the asay. Shalach to shalach. So now it's an asay of shloch hakein versus the asay of mitzvah. No, they're on equal playing fields. And I would think perhaps mitzvah overrides. Still, we have to clarify why would I prefer mitzvah. We'll see later. But now at least we're dealing with an equal playing field. Asay of the ikka, at most you have an asay left behind. So maybe lacy asay, the asay of mitzvah can come and push aside the asay of the shiloh hakein, kamash one. That's what the pasuk comes to confirm otherwise. Now, this notion that once I lift the bird off the nest in violation, I've already completed the lois say it's done and over with, unable to remedy it. That's not so simple, because you see, According to the opinion discussed back in Maseches Makkos, that learns that whenever we have something called a lav, a negative, which is nitak, let's say, linked to a positive, such as shluch hakein, which apparently has that configuration. It's don't take the mother bird, and yes, send her away. If you already took it, send her away. And that's why the Chachamim in the next Mishnah will hold that one does not earn malchus for violating shluch hakein, because it always has that remedial option until he actually kills the bird, right? But if he's still holding the bird, he can remedy, can fix up what he did, walk it back by sending it away. Now, there's a shita which says, no, you don't have that long to fix it up. You have just a very minuscule amount of time. It's called toich kedei dibur, as long as it takes to greet, somebody, Shalom Alecha Rebbe, right? To greet the Rebbe, it's 3 words worth of time, a couple of seconds. So if he grabbed the mother bird in violation, and within 2-3 seconds he shoos her away, saves the day. He spared himself the 39 malchus. Kimoi. Right? V'lo kimoi means if he waited too long, waited past that prescribed lapse of time, it's too late, it's a new experience. So the taking of the bird is already in violation, and it's done and over with. Completed the Isra, and he gets malchus. So according to this opinion, it's all about whether he was quickly makayim the asay, to quickly undo the lav, or he tarried, and he did not remedy it immediately, so then he gets the violation, it completes the lav and he gets malchus. So in our case, it can very well be speaking that he grabbed the mother bird in violation and held on to it for a minute, without sending her away immediately, so now he has violated, let's say it's done and over with, he can't fix it up. That's behind him, so to speak. Now he's just facing the question of the assay of send her away versus the mitzvah's assay of taking it, so that's up for consideration. El mandatame bitle bebitle. According to the Tani, the mandama that learns that it's about destroying the evidence. Bitle, did he destroy the possibility of rectifying the Isra? Or he has not yet done so. So as long as he still has the bird alive in his hands, he can still technically fulfill the assay to undo the lav. So it's all about bitle. Did he obliterate the remedial possibility, or did he not obliterate the remedial option? If he still is able to remedy, he doesn't get malchus. It's not done and over with. Likewise now, okay, so even though he grabbed, he snatched the mother bird in violation, but shachta, as long as he hasn't yet shechted that mother bird, he still has it alive and well, he can send her away and get out of the malchus. He hasn't really completed the violation of the law, so technically he's still facing both layers of Isser if he just keeps it and takes it for the Mitzvah's purposes. The Lois Asay and the Asay. So how could you say it's just a single Asay? That's one side of this question. Vesu, furthermore, on the other side of this question is Rabbi Yehuda. According to Rabbi Yehuda's opinion discussed in the next Mishnah, who disagrees with the Chachamim and how they classify the Isra of Shluch HaKein. It's not a lav hanitek lasei. It's not linked to an asay. Although the Torah does say, don't take and yes sender, the yes sender precedes the don't take. It's alluding to the initial contact with the nest. When you encounter the nest, send away the mother bird. It's a one-time opportunity. Now if he ignores that directive and just grabs the bird, he has already violated the asay. It's over. And when he takes the mother bird, he's simply transgressing a negative, a straight-out negative commandment. It's not litek lasei. There's no remedial option. With Rabbi Yehuda who says shaleach, send her away meikara mashma, it's referring to the initial encounter prior to taking her in violation. So once he grabbed her, he checked off the assay because he failed to send her away when he encountered her. And once he grabbed her, he checked off the lois assay. It's done over with. Afil assay namelech, even an assay does not exist. He's not even facing an assay anymore. It's over with. So why shouldn't he use it for the mitzvah? What's the big deal? So basically, this question goes both ways. Again, the Torah, in the extra word to shalach, is coming to cover even a mitzvah scenario, where he's attempting to achieve a certain mitzvah. His objective is to take the bird for the mitzvah and fulfillment of the mitzvah say at the expense of the shluch hakein. You should not ignore shluch hakein in this type of case. What are we talking? What's still outstanding? Asay and lois asay. Why would he even think to override that? He already grabbed the bird. Well, according to one approach to this whole lavadit asay topic, well, as long as he still has the bird, he hasn't really completed that violation either, so he's still facing a potential leisase and naseh, which certainly stands higher than the single mitzvah of mitzvah. And on the other side of the coin, according to Rabbi Yehuda, actually he did both these certain already. It's done. So now he has just a plain free bird. Why shouldn't he use it for the mitzvah? Ella Omar Ma Bravash. I'll give you the case that we're talking about. He encountered the nest, he grabbed the mother bird with the intent to send her away. Be a good boy. And then he changed his mind. He says, okay, no, I want to use it for mitzvah. The lav leka, according to all positions, there's no lav. Lav means don't take her for personal use. He didn't take her for personal use. He took her for a good reason to send her away. So all that's left is the asay. And even according to Rabbi Yehuda, Shaleach is still active because he never took her in violation. Send her away right now, hurry up. Asay udiyika. Okay, so now we'll limit it to an asay. That's the question. You have an asay of shluch hakein facing off with an asay of mitzvah. No. Perhaps the asay of mitzvah overrides. Until the pasuk comes and says it doesn't. Now comes the obvious question. Why would I think mitzvah is stronger than shluch hakein? Umay da asay, my asay. Why is that asay stronger than this asay? Says the Gemara. Because it engenders peace in the family, harmony amongst the couple. Perhaps I would say, since we learned way back that peace is such a great virtue, look how great is it to generate peace between a couple. Look what the Torah says, the name of Hashem, which was written in holiness on that parchment, on the psukim that they scrape off for the saita to drink to restore harmony and peace in the troubled household. Yimach should be erased onto the water in order to generate shalom. And likewise, this mitzvah fellow, even the kamad lemitar, since as long as he hasn't completed his purification process, which entails the birds, etc., can't interact with his wife. As the pasuk says, must be separate from his oil, his wife, for 7 days. Olay means his wife. We learn that he can't interact with his wife. No, so I would think it's such a lofty objective, maldatema. Kivan the also b'tashamita, since he's forbidden, lacy asay the day. So the asay of bringing his bird, which will enable to complete the process and restore the couple's life, should stand higher than the asay of shalech tashal asayim. V'litchi asay d'shloch haken. Kamashmon. That's why the pasuk comes and tells us, no, as important as it is, but the end doesn't justify the means, and you can't violate the mitzvah shluch hakein. Okay, now on to the question of what happens if he does grab the bird. Anoitul eim alabon. He grabbed the mother while still on the kids, and he took the mother without sending her away. According to Rashi's Pshat, that's what it means. According to Rambam, it means he took the mother and the offspring. In any case, he violated the great mitzvah of shluch hakein. So we already alluded to this machlekes. How do we define the isra of loisika cha'im alabanim? Is it linked to shalech to shalach, in which case is exempt from malchus, like any lav hanitek lasei, or are they two separate standalone things? There is the mitzvah of sending her away, and then the isra of taking her. And if he takes her, he gets malchus. Rabbi Yehuda takes the second approach. Rabbi Yehuda loika, he gets the malchus as per his violation. That's it. There's no opportunity to send her away. It's done and over with. There's no remedial option. No, there is a remedial option. Just quickly send her away, and you will absolve yourself of malchus. Why? Is that klal? As per the general rule, kol mitzvahs lav, which is linked to a remedial step which follows that lav. Like, for example, return the stolen goods after you stole it. So that's certainly linked. You can only return after you steal. So linked. It's first step is don't steal, and if you steal, step 2, return. And that undoes, so to speak, what he did. Kol mitzvah there's no malchus on it. Now there are 2 ways to understand Rabbi Yehuda's position. The time of Rabbi Yehuda what's Rabbi Yehuda's position? Is it because Mishum de Savar, perhaps he disagrees in general, conceptually, that even a lav that's really shenitik lasei linked to an asay, a proper lintik lasei, without any question, like an olav, you get malchus, and that explains the malchus by shluch haken, despite it being nitik lasei. Oidil ma'or, no, ba'al masavar, in general, he's in agreement that lav shenitik lasei, if it's rightfully linked to an asay, ain't like an olav, there's no malchus. The reason why there is malchus is because he says it's not linked. You got the sequence wrong. It's not like, don't grab it, if you do, send her away. Send her away. And don't take her. Mikara mashman, if he grabs her, there's no way to walk it back. Tashmai comes it right. From a brisa, that a classic nteklasei gets malchus, according to Rabbi Yehuda. Gana v'gazlan, right? A thief, a robber, yeshna m'chal malchus. If they steal, they get malchus. The Rabbi Yehuda. No, over here, hands down, there's no question that it's nitik lasei. V'acha, this is your classic, the lav nitik lasei. How do I know? The Torah says, don't steal, and if you do, return it. What does that prove? That time the Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda's position is that in general, once you violate, you get. Like you know, if it's really linked to an asay, you get malchus. I've already told you in the past. It's an unreliable brisa, don't prove anything from there. Any brisa, the Loy Tanya, which was not studied and edited, Bei Rabbi, return Talmud base, Bei Rabbi Chia of Rabbi Yeshua, between in the membership of the Rabbi Chia Beis HaMedrash, where they codified the brises. Rashi says Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yeshua masada the brises, they edited them, they compiled them with accuracy. So unless it has that certification, in Mishnah Bashti, you can assume that it's erroneously worded. Well, the Toysur Mina, you can't ask anything from there. In the Beis HaMedrash. Dilma, perhaps the wording has to be modified. Einon b'chol malchus habarim Tanya. Perhaps the correct version is Einon b'chlal. That even according to Rabbi Yehuda, there is no malchus. So you can't really prove anything from there. But we have another brisa now, Tashma, from a reliable brisa, which was studied no less in the Beis Medrash of Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yeshua. The Tani of Rabbi Chia, Lo Yisashav. Okay, so there's an isser to go back. The farmer dropped some, bundles. Don't go back. Vishav, he went back and he picked it up and he kept it. Or Lo Yisachala. Torah warns him against harvesting the entire field. Leave over the corner for the poor, the payer, right? But Bechila, and he cut the whole thing down. Yeshnon b'chlal malchus arbaim, he gets malchus. Did Rabbi Yehuda? And the question is why? And Rashi explains, it's really linked to an asay. The pasuk says, "La'aniv la'get hazavoisim," leave them for the poor. So even though he took it, he should have the option of dropping it, leaving it for the poor. So why malchus? According to Rabbi Yehuda, shmamina, that proves, that confirms that in fact, time the Rabbi Yehuda's position is based on that there is malchus for nitik lasei. There's no discounts. Even a lav shenitik lasei, a bona fide lav nitik lasei, lo can get malchus. Said the Gemara, who says? Dil masam on a time. Perhaps the reason over there is because the chasavar tazav meikara mashma. Once again, he holds the sequence is wrong. Although the pasuk tells you to leave it for the poor, initially you get that first chance to do that, but once he grabbed it, he gave up that chance. So it's not linked. But if it was really linked, like a case of noiser is don't leave over the meat past the expiry date. If you do burn it, that's clearly a 1-2 step system. You can't burn unless you. So there, if it's really linked, perhaps we would agree you're exempt. But here it's not really linked. Here comes the punchline. Don't leave the meat over till the morning. And then it says, if you do, burn it. Right? So clearly, this is the sequence. Don't leave it over, lav. If you do the assay and fix it up by burning it, by destroying the material. The Torah is adding the assay after the lois assay, to teach us. There's no malchus. And who's speaking? Rabbi Yehuda. Shmamina, that's a clear confirmation that in fact Rabbi Yehuda fully agrees in concept that a true lav hanitak lasei like noiser, etc., qualifies for the discount, exempts him from malchus. So why back on Shloch HaKain? Did he take issue with that exemption? Because he holds it's not linked to asay. There's no 1-2 step sequence here. Just the opposite. Shema min Talmud Rabbi Yehuda is based on the idea of reversing the sequence, because he holds Shaleach, the positive element of Shloch HaKain, precedes the negative. It relates to the moment of encounter. You see it, send it away. And if you don't, you take it. You violated both. The yes and the no, it's over. It's over. That proves our point. So according to Rabbi Yehuda, it's too late. You can't send her away. You missed that chance. If you take a close look at our mission, you'll see the same exact. Look, the Tanya, what does the mission say? He grabbed a mother in violation. Rabbi Yehuda loike, he gets his malchus, okay, and he adds 2 words, and you can't send her away. It's no point. You lost your chance. That confirms that according to Rabbi Yehuda, the opportunity to send relates to the initial encounter and no more, no more past that. Because if we were to take the other approach that was suggested earlier, that even according to Rabbi Yehuda, it's a 1-2 step system. Don't take her. If you took her, send her away. So the positive can follow the negative. Why malchus? Because he was not even been a nitik lasei get malchus. That was the other approach. Okay, but in any case, even after he grabbed the mother bird in violation, he can still send her away. True, he gets malchus, fine, but if you have the opportunity to send her away and do the mitzvah. In fact, the Rita says, Ein Meshalech tells you it's too late for that, because the positive commandment preceded the negative. And he lost that opportunity. Well, perhaps, all he meant in the Mishnah was, Ein Nifta Adam Malkanle. He meant to say that, guess what, you can't get out of the malchus by sending her away. Unlike the Chachamim would say, if he sends her away, he gets away from the malchus, because he has now remedied the situation. According to Rabbi, there's no remedying here, right? But perhaps he can still do the mitzvah of shaleach. The malchus he gets because he violated, and there's no discount for nitik lasei, but perhaps he can still send her away. So we haven't really proven conclusively from the lashon of the Mishnah that shaleach relates to before or after. But in any case, we did confirm it from the previous discussion, from the fact that there's malchus by noiser, despite being nitik lasei. So you see, that there is no malchus by noiser because it's nitik lasei. So even according to Rabbi Yehuda, when it's nitik lasei, there's no malchus. The reason why in Amishin there's malchus, apparently it's because it's not nitik lasei. The assay is long gone when he initially ignored the opportunity. Fine, so now he's sending her away. Ad kama meshalcha, how far does he have to send her away? Okay, so Amar Rabbi Yehuda, get it out of your control, have it fly away a little bit so that you can't, re-grab it. That's considered shalech to shalach. Rashi says, we're talking even when he already took her in violation, he just has to do a slight sending away, as long as he lost control. In what form will he send her away? Ravuna Amar B'Ragleh, with her legs. Meaning, let's say, even if she clipped off her wings, and she can't fly anymore, but as long as she can run away, that's enough. Rav Yehuda Amar B'Ragafeh, no, she has to be able to fly away. That's why she flies. That's why she escapes. Ravuna Amar B'Ragleh, Ravuna says legs are enough. Live fine by an animal. Mishalchi Regel, Hashav Rachamar, an animal uses its legs to run around, so that's enough. Rav Yehuda Amar B'Ragafeh, no, with her wings, because the legs of a bird are her wings. That's how it gets away. So if it has no wings, you're not really sending her away to the free. In fact, there was a story. This wise guy took the mother bird, he clipped off her wings, so he can't really fly away, and he threw her away, and he pretended to send her away. And then, of course, he turned around and grabbed her, because she couldn't go very far. Rav Yehuda heard of this fellow, and he says, get over here. Nagda, he gave him malchus. Rav Yehuda gave him malchus. Amalei says, You know what? Now you have to work harder. Zil Rabbi lo gatfe. You have to raise her until she produces her wings. And then you'll send her away properly. Says the Gemara. How could you have both components together? He required him to send her away. Apparently, you can still send her away even after he took her improperly. So shaleach is sort of a remedial element, like the Rabbanon. But then he gave her malchus, which indicates that his violation was done and over with, right? Come on, whose position was he adopting? Ikra Rabbido. Is it Rabbido? Like shaleach. According to him, you get malchus and it's done. There's no opportunity to send her anymore. Ikra Rabbanon, according to Rabbanon, Mashalach v'ani like it. They hold, get rid of her, and absolve yourself of malchus. So how could you get malchus and still have the obligation? Like Rabbanon. Certainly we're going like the Rabbanon. So the mitzvah shalech is still outstanding. And the lashes wasn't really umakas mardus from the Rabbanon. It was only rabbinic lashes to enforce it, to force him to behave and not to try this trick again. How would also come to Rava? This fellow came to Rava with a question on a bird nest. He says, Amalei Tema, there's a certain kind of bird called a Tema, very fitting word. Tema. I wonder, right? Mao, what's its status? Is it kosher? And is it chayiv in a mitzvah or not? Omar, so Rava says, Layada Haigav, this fellow doesn't know, Doiftar, that it's a kosher bird, chayiv l'shaluchi, you have to, he doesn't know that a kosher bird has to be, Doiftar chayiv l'shaluchi, he doesn't know that a kosher bird is required, you have to shalech, meaning this is a kosher bird. Amar lei dil machada b'yosad rami. So Rabba was sort of speculating. Perhaps his question wasn't on the type of a bird. It was just that he discovered only a single egg. Chada b'yosad rami. He only found a single egg, and that was his question. Amar lei. So the fellow says, yeah, exactly, right on. That's exactly my question. Amalei, so Rava says, Masnisni, that's also in the Mishnah. We just learned it today. Ein sham elafreich echad, right? Even a single chick, or beitza achas, you're chayim shaleach. Fine. So the fellow complied, shilcha. He sent away the mother bird. Vahada la Rava. Pristaki v'tafs, and Rava set up some traps, some nets, and he trapped the bird. Asked the Gemara, but it gives the appearance of inappropriateness, that it may appear that Rava had his own interest in mind when he obligated this fellow to send her away. Maybe he was trying to for suspicion that people might, observe it the wrong way. Kalachayad, it was backhanded from a distance. That's where he set up the trap, so it wasn't really visibly a setup. Tarabana. We learned in the past that only hefker, ownerless birds that are from the wild, they're chayim shlochaken, but domesticated birds, the ones that you raise at home, that are sort of in control, that come back for the food and are accessible to you, are not qualifying for shlochaken. Tanarabonon, yoyni shevach, you have the wild birds that come visit the birdhouse, yoyni aliyah, come visit the attic. Those are considered wild, uncontrollable, chayeves b'shiluach, and you have to send them away. Vasuras mishum gezel. Ironically, even though it's really technically not yours, which is the reason for shloach hakein, right? But the Shimon should not grab birds out of Ruvain's attic. Mishum gezel, we view it as theft, not halachically so, but psychologically. To generate harmony and peace amongst people, amongst neighbors, amongst Yidden. The fact is, Ruvain, the landowner, views them as his, even though technically, halachically, it's not his. Otherwise, it wouldn't be Shiluch HaKain, right? But Shalom isn't always a matter of who's technically, halachically right or wrong. It's a matter of a person's psyche, a person's perspective, and you have to be sensitive to the landowner's feeling of ownership. Ask the Gemara. Now, why is it considered unowned? Which activates the mitzvah of Shiluch HaKain. Vim Isal Hadam if we should adopt the halacha of Rabbi Yisrael who says even chatzeir shel adam kohen l'shlem medayit, even a person's property can acquire on his behalf even without him knowing. So birds which landed in his property are technically his. The chatzir represents a person. It's like a shliach of a person. In which case, kari kan, we should apply the pasuk ki kari a chance encounter bird, yeah, but prat lemezimna as opposed to a bird which is accessible, which is owned. Amrav, let me explain. Beitza, the egg, as it's being laid in Metzias Ruba, as it's coming out of the mother bird, it's mostly laid hudichai b'shluch. At that point, it's already considered an egg entity, and it's chai b'shluch hakein, prior to having landed in the property and being acquired by the owner. In which case, it's technically hefker, and it's chayiv. Mikna loikani. When does he acquire it? Only at the tibul chater until it actually lands. V'chiktani, you're right. V'chiktani chayv b'shluch. When the Brisa says it's chai b'shluch hakein, midair, prekame the tibul chater before it actually lands. If that's the case, that it's not even laid yet, so the owner doesn't even have his mind on it. So why is it an issue of gezla? Why can't another fellow grab it? Ayimam, you're right. It's not going on the egg, which has not yet been realized and actualized. It's going on the mother bird. Nobody should take the mother bird. You say another way to learn. Refrain from grabbing the egg for concern of shalom, of peace. Answer your question. Even prior to landing, the egg is just mostly out. The owner already has his mind on it. He's already cooking up a storm for tomorrow. He's already deeming it his own. Now, once we have the another halacha from Rav, also liskes with beitz, she'em retzes alei. One may not be zoiche in eggs on which a mother is resting, because you're not meant to take them before you send away the mother. So at this point, it's forbidden material. And then I'll take the offspring. In which case, by us, we notice these eggs being laid in your neighbor's field. Even if it's speaking that's already laid, it's already sitting there, it's still technically hefker, and it's chayiv b'shluch hakein. Why? Because he's not allowed to acquire it at this early stage. And if he can, so his property can't. His property represents him, right? Something which he can't do, the property can't either. An item in a situation where the owner can personally acquire it, if it's okay for him to do, so it's okay for his chatzah to do for him. Chatzah can be for him. As opposed to these eggs prior to shluch hakein, which are forbidden materials as far as we're concerned, but in a situation where the owner should not be taking it, says chatzah is not either zeicha, so technically it's not owned. In which case, the mitzvah of shluch hakein applies. If that's the case, why does the Brisa say discourage others from coming to take it for concern that it may cause strife? Look, either shalcha, if the owner already did shluch hakein on the nest, so it's fully his. Gezamalu, it's really theft. It's not just shalom issues, it's really theft. Idlo shulcha, if he didn't send the mother away, and that mitzvah is still pending, then how could you take it? Shlucha boy, you have to send away the mother. It's not a question of darkei shalom. You shouldn't be taking it because of the isser shluch hakein. Bekatim, we're speaking that the snatcher is a minor. A minor is not obligated shluch hakein. Well, if that's the case, he's not obligated in keeping the harmony amongst katan bar darkei shalom. Well, how can we impose the darkei shalom stipulation on the katan? The Brisa means if the kid should grab it, the father has to come put it back for concern of causing strife. Continues the Gemara with a story. Levi bar Simon, he had some birdhouses in his property. Akni peiroi shebach Rav Yehuda. So he transferred ownership of the produce of his shevache, of his birdhouse. Rav Yehuda became the new owner of the chicks and the eggs. No, also come to Shmuel. So Rav Yehuda approached Shmuel, who had some advice for him. Amalei, he says, Zil treif akan. Go tap on the nest, take your broomstick, give it a little tap. In order to list gabinhu, so that the mother birds should lift up. In this way, you'll. He didn't explain what's going to lift. The birds will lift, okay, but this way you'll acquire it. Now, what was the objective? What was he trying to do here? Lamai, what's the purpose? Ila mikna, to acquire the chicks there. Look, why bother with the broomstick? Go to the owner and do a swap. He'll give you the kerchief, and you give him the kerchief in exchange. You make an exchange, and now the items belong to you without the trouble of going to it and lifting it and snapping it. Perhaps he's trying to achieve a totally different objective. It was Erev Yom Tov. There's halacha, discussed in Maseches Beitza. You have to designate the bird that you're going to eat tomorrow in order to circumvent the muktzah issues. So you have to know that it's yours, and you have to pinpoint it. Ibi Yom Tov, well, you don't have to actually do a kinyan to permit it for Yom Tov use. Just label it, just identify it. Va'omer, it's enough for him to stand near the thing and point to this specific word and say, Va'omer, zeh v'zeh, look, this one and this one, I'm going to be taking tomorrow. Sorry, that's enough. You don't have to do the whole acrobats. Says the Gemara, Anu peri chadatav. Anu peri chadatav. These were newly laid eggs. Peri chadati. Okay. And the mother was still there. So the owner, Levi Bar Simon, was forbidden from acquiring these eggs prior to the Mr. Shloch HaKen, as discussed before, right? The Levi Bar Simon, so peri chadati, the Levi Bar Simon, gufei lo yahavu kanan. He himself hadn't yet asserted his ownership on those new additions. So you can't really give it away before he has it, right? That's what Shmuel was giving advice to Rabbi Yudi. He says, look, first accomplish, do the mitzvah shloch hakein. And once that's done, the eggs now are permitted for taking, in which case the owner, through his chatzar, will have acquired the eggs, and now he has the ability to give it to you. If it's his, he can transfer it to you through the kinyan. Zil, tarif. Go, tap the akan on the nest. Delis gabinu, so the mother birds should lift, should fly away, and now the eggs and the chicks are ready for taking. V'nikninu Levi Bar Simon, and the owner Levi Bar Simon will now acquire them through his chatzar. Now it's his. And the next step is l'kninu nilach b'suda. I'll give it to you through a suda, through the change kinyan. That's what he meant to say, and this is fully in line with the previous brayso said that even a chatzar can't make a kinyan on something which is until you're mekayim the mitzvah shloch hakein. Okay, for a quick chazara, we started with the content of the nest. Needs to be viable eggs and or unflying birds, but even a single bird or a single egg qualifies kan is mekomok. How many times until you actually successfully send the mother away? Endless. There's no shear. Shalech means afilu me'apam. Tashalach, even for dvar mitzvah. We don't negate the mitzvah shloch hakein in order to fulfill the mitzvah mitzvah, despite its importance of restoring peace and harmony in the Jewish home. We had an interesting machlekes whether the lav and the asay of shloch hakein qualifies for the lav and etikal asay label. According to Rabbanon, yes. According to Rabbanon, not. We spoke about ensuring that the bird can get away properly with her wings. We discussed birds sitting in somebody's property, technically not his, but nevertheless off limits because of Darkei Shalom. We conclude with a story that highlighted the halach of the brayso that power of kinyan is only on permitted materials. The power of kinyan chatzar is only after the shloch hakein had been fulfilled. Okay, all the best to you, and let's lach harab.